Welcome everybody to Talladega for the next round of the Circle B Diecast series, Superspeedway series here on ESPN. And I'm starting without music tonight because, as you can see from the bottom right-hand corner, we are here for a tribute for tonight's race, and we are racing in memory of William Robert Papp Sr., who sadly passed away a couple of days ago. Now, for those that don't know who William Papp Sr. is, he is the father of Jason Papp, the league owner of the iRacing East series. And unfortunately, Jason racing in honor of his father here tonight, and gonna be a very highly emotionally charged night, but gonna be a good night regardless. But let's all keep him in our hearts and in our minds, and we know that he was a good man, and he'll be forever missed in the minds of the people that are in this league and everybody else that know him. So big condolences and big heartfelt condolences to the families and friends of William Papp Jr., William Papp Sr. We're just gonna have a quick moment of silence, and then we'll get on with the show. Okay, now with that, we are going to press on with the show here. We are here for the next round of the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series. We are here at Talladega, and thank you for making us a part of your evening. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett here in the booth for you here tonight. And joining me in the booth once again is a man that's no stranger to these kind of cars. It's Mr. Byron Rodney. And Byron, a very heartfelt tribute tonight, but going to still see some very high-paced action here tonight.
Yeah, Talladega Super Speedway, you know, it is exactly what it says. Super Speedway. You're going to see pack racing tonight. The cars nose to tail. They're going to be rooting and gouging to try to find their way to the front of the field. 70 laps we're going to run tonight here at Talladega. I'm looking for a great race.
Absolutely. Going to be absolutely off the chain here, as qualifying is just getting underway here, and we're just waiting for the first drivers to make their way out of pit road. And we do have Zach Bowman, the first driver, out on track right now in the Red Bull inspired number 9. And Bowman, very much a man that's on a mission this season. Let's go and have a look at the championship points before we start the qualifying session. Now, looking at the top of the table, we have Zach Bowman at the top of the point standings, as you see him out on track right there. Colin Trafari in second, not too far behind him. Just 4 points behind Trafari is Greg McConey. McConey been on a tear lately. Let's see if he can carry on that form here tonight. Ryan Worley there, and GT Park in the top 5 as well. Aaron Tribble up there. Jesse Cottrell, Zishan Duera, Shane Posey, and John LeBombard rounding out your top 10. In the team points, it is very much a close affair again in that one. Radical Racing at the top with Artificial Autosports in second place. Golden State Racing, GSR, they're currently in third. Sweet Life Motorsports in fourth. And Dudes Racing, despite all their good form this season, being mostly near the top of the standings, still only in joint fifth for this team's championship, as they are tied with Jawbone Motorsports. And Jawbone Motorsports, we noticed just before the start of the broadcast there, one of their drivers actually disconnecting from the session there, Byron.
Yeah, but I see Mark McFadden back in the server, so looking to see what he's going to do. Qualifying going out on the track. Times, I haven't seen the qualifying times pop just quite yet. 1 lap of qualifying around here is all you get. You get your out lap to get it up to speed down that back straight, and then haul the mail for that start-finish line. As Aaron Tribble goes to the point with a 50-point up, Connor Trafari to the point, 50.821. You need to hold a real pretty steering wheel around this track to, get a good qualifying time. You can't, saw that wheel back and forth. Why? It scrubs speed.
That it does, and Colin Trafari is still at the top here as we're looking at Greg McConey coming out of pit road. There is Zishan Duera just crossing the line for P5. There's Marcus Adams out in the track in the number 31 Balls Garana machine, running the red, white, and blue, as you'd expect for most drivers in this series. They're very patriotic, these guys.
Yes, they are. Great paint jobs. You know, they take pride in the work that they put in wrapping these cars in colors that just truly amazing.
Absolutely, as Adams crosses the line, and he will go into P5. Zach Bowman dropping down to P6, so his first time, not very retrospective of his pace all this season, as we're looking at the man that is paying tribute to his father here tonight. Is Jason Papp out on track right now. I'm not sure if he's actually putting in a time on. I think he is actually. This is his qualifying run right now, and Colin Trafari still at the top. Adrian Moore in second. Here comes Jason Papp through turns 3 and 4. Let's see if he can get a really good lap in now in that Chevrolet Camaro. Repping the
start finish line here. It's Talladega. It's further down away. You get like Daytona. They have, as Jason Papp slots into the 7th position with a 50.907. But at Daytona, that start-finish line is right in the dead center of the dog leg, you know, right in front of the stands. Talladega, it's moved further down the track, closer to turn 1. So you really got to haul the mail and get a good run downhill coming around the dog leg.
Yeah, as Greg McConey goes up to second, he was fastest of all through the first part of the track, and just fell off the pace ever so slightly just before the line. And that's probably owing to the fact that, like you said, that finish line so far further along than most other tracks, and going through that dogleg probably scrubbed a bit of speed off. He did go quite low down in that little bumpy area just below the bottom line.
Yeah, you want to get a good run entering that dogleg because, you know, the track is banked big time. And as that banking comes off across through the dogleg, it is still banked. So you can get a downhill run to the flattest spot, which is headed for that start-finish line before you come on the banks to turn 1.
Absolutely, as we are ticking down the time for qualifying now. Almost over here at Talladega, and we are going to go straight to the grid for your race here tonight. Let's take a look at the grid for this one. If my music decides it wants to play, and it's not going to, is it? There it is. So let's show the grid for tonight's race, and it's going to be Connor Trafari for Golden State Racing starting up on the pole for this one. Greg McConey is going to be firing off in second place, and in row 2 will be Adrian Moore and Aaron Tribble. Row 3 will be Michael Anthony and Elijah Innes. Row 4 will be Chris Worrell and Marcus Adams, and row 5 here at Talladega will be Jason Papp and Zach Bowman, Byron.
Yep, and then row 6 will be Zishan Duera with Dan Brasington to his outside elbow. That's a name we know from watching open wheel cars. Brandon Wilson and Joey Gauthier in the next row. Mark McFadden, Chris Walker, a couple more guys I've seen in open wheel league. Can't wait to see what they do with these fendered cars out here. Ryan Worley, Cruz Hernandez Jr., and rounding out the field starting shotgun will be John Lombard.
Yeah, John LaBombard.
Lombard.
Yeah, LaBombard. Very.
I gotta remember La Bamba.
Very synonymous with starting on the back row of the grid, as we've got for some reason there's a camera directly in the wall. Not really sure what that's about, but we're waiting for the field to get going here at Talladega. 19 cars to start this thing off here tonight, and that is your man right there. That is Connor Trafari, and we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs here, and it's very tantalizingly close for these guys. Playoffs always throw up a bit of a mix, though, so that could throw some surprises up. I mean, it doesn't matter if you finish at the top of the top of the points pile. It's all about wins once you get to the playoffs, as they all start rolling now. And Byron, who's caught your eye so far here tonight?
Taking a look through practice, I was watching, Connor Trafari. He was laying down some good laps. He did wind up taking the pole, but don't count out Jason Papp tonight. Not only is he running in memoriam for his father who passed away, as our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, but every time I have raced in this league with these guys, and every time I have broadcast this league with these guys, with you, Sam, I have watched that number one of Jason Papp slowly work his way to the front when it comes time at the closing stages of the race.
Yeah, definitely going to keep an eye on Jason Papp here tonight, the man from Palm Bay, Florida, running in honor of his father, as we've mentioned so many times here tonight. And before we get started, though, I want to give a shout out to the league sponsors. Obviously, first and foremost, Circle B Diecasts. They are the main sponsors of the series, and definitely going to be looking forward to seeing them in future. We've got Midwest Motor Customs, we do have Butt Kicker, we do have iRacing, iFlag as well, and of course Rowdy Energy, who sponsor the Cup Series on Monday nights, and very good sponsors. And don't forget our sponsors as well. We have Diecast Nuts, and we also have Rocket Racing set up. So a lot of good sponsors on board for both the league and the channel. But right now, Byron, this is the start of a nice race here for us tonight, and I'm going to give you the absolute honor of getting us going for the first time here tonight.
Yep, we are coming out of turn 4. The pace truck has the field in formation. Connor Trafari down on the low lane. Greg Marconi to his outside elbow. You're going to see that pace truck take that hard left turn into pit lane as he exits turn 4. These guys are going to hold it down just a little bit, because remember, start-finish line's all the way up there by the entrance to turn 1. As we see the pace truck dive low, gets ready to take that turn. We're getting ready to go underway. Green flag is almost getting ready to come out. I always miss that call as they enter the dog leg, waiting for Connor Trafari to hit the loud pedal and bring this field up to full song and bring them up through the gearbox as he holds them down as they enter the dog leg. Wait for it. Green flag flies, loud pedals pressed. Connor Trafari says, I'm out of here, boys. Try and catch me if you can, but sorry, whole gang's right on his tails. Adrian Moore giving him a strong push.
Yeah, but already going in towards turn 1, Greg McConey seems to have had the jump on him as he's already got a nose out in front, but here comes Trafari again on the inside with Moore giving him that push. You see Michael Anthony right there, Aaron Tribble on the outside as well in the 22. The 68 is right there as well as Adrian Moore jumping out to the inside line. He doesn't want any part of this early battle as he goes below the yellow line, and he's going to fall right to the back.
It's super speedway racing. As long as you stay in the draft here, which is what you need to be, you've got a chance. You could be in P12 in this thing, and with 2 laps to go and come back and win it. That's how the draft works. You need to drive just as much with your rear view mirror as you do need to drive looking out the windshield, because you're looking for that car to give you the push. You're looking for your help in the draft as Connor Trafari leads the first lap coming around.
Yep, lap 2 of 70, and Connor Trafari will be the first leader of a lap here tonight as McConey and Anthony almost getting into it there, coming out of turn 2. You don't want to see that happen this early on, as Anthony has the inside line. He does have Chris Worrell right behind him, so Anthony has some support right behind him, as well as Marcus Adams, as McConey making an audacious move down to the bottom line already. Very aggressive moves already, only on lap 2.
Yeah, very aggressive for very early in this race. And remember, folks, this league does not have what we call fast repairs. And that's where if you wad the car up, you can take it into the pits, snap your fingers, and you can go. It's a magical reset. It does not exist in this league. So if you wad the car up early in this thing, you're going to be in a bad position for the whole rest of the night, points-wise.
Absolutely, as they come through 3 and 4 once again, and McConey is struggling to keep it down there. He's got pushed up high by Marcus Adams, and he will get freight trained right here because he has no help behind him. Here comes Aaron Tribble, going to try and give him some helpers. McConey goes back to the bottom line, but it's still Trafari going to lead them down. Actually, they were coming through 1 and 2, I apologize, and they're coming down the backstretch right now. Trafari still leading this thing. Michael Anthony in second, Chris Worrell in third, Marcus Adams in P4. It's a balls out racing 2, 3, and 4 right now as they come through come out of turn 4. That was a big wiggle there by Aaron Tribble, and somehow manages to save it.
Oh, wow, that is called driving right there. Had that car all sorts of ways out of shape, hangs on to it, gets it back up on the track, manages to stay on the load line in the lead draft, and he is able to keep her pointed straight.
Yeah, and he keeps it in a straight line, and he's right ahead of Dan Brazington there as they come down the super stretch once again, and he's going to be thanking his lucky stars. And he's one person. This young man is very, very capable of saving a race car when it's out of shape. He's done it so many times this season, as already we're seeing passes for the lead here, Byron, and two of the balls Guarana cars going around. We're probably going to see a third one go around as McConey looking to the outside as well as Anthony Worrell. And actually, that is Jason Papp going to the front as well. We didn't see him coming up through the field.
No, like I told you, man, every race that I've actually raced with these guys in this league. When you called the race, I've called races with you, and every time Jason Papp has snuck that car to the front. Usually he does it towards the later stages, but no, he's got that number one out there and just flying in the breeze, rolling that car. These guys, they're working that high line, working that low line. They're looking for the fast way around because, the low line has the advantage coming through the dog leg, but that high line picks up that big-time speed momentum. And remember, the start-finish line's down by turn one, so the high line might be where you want to be here at Talladega.
Don't forget, with the new tyre rules that are in this on this iRacing platform now, we do have that multi-groove racing that is in effect as well. Even if it's on a super speedway, we do have that multi-groove racing, and we're going to see that a lot here tonight. We saw it already with the three balls Guarana cars going to the front. Aaron Tribble now up to P4, and Zishan Duera is up into P5. He is making his way forward. Jason Papp, after making that run to the front, falls back to P8. Zach Bowman up to P6 now in that Red Bull number 9. We're seeing a lot of people going forward, people falling back, and we've got Mark McFadden also coming forward as well in the 99X side, even though he's scored as the number 71, which is very strange. Needs to kind of change that one.
Yeah, but you know what? It's super speedway racing. It's pack racing, draft racing. You're going to see guys charging to the front. You're going to see guys falling back. Like I said, you want to be there at the end. My mentality when I race this thing is I want to get my car out in the wind and get out in the front of it in case anything should happen. A lot of guys have the opposite philosophy to it. I'm going to ride towards the back so I can see it happen and get out of the way. But here at Talladega, man, when things do happen, which we probably will see them happen, it will happen quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, we see the 8, the 6, and the 31 in lockstep right now, just working with each other. Aaron Tribble trying to keep pace with them as well as Zishan Duera. Zach Bowman is right up there as well. One driver that has completely fallen back is the man that started on the pole, Conor Trafari, all the way back in P12 now. And remember, like I said, he started on the pole position and has now fallen outside the top 10. So it's a case of if you're going to run at the front, okay, probably going to run a few laps at the front and then probably fall back into the pack. Just try and save a bit of fuel, run behind the guy in front of you, and just take it easy. Then when it comes to go time, that's when it's time to go.
Yeah, because you're going to need help when it comes down to running for the checkers at this thing. You're not going to get to the checkers without some help behind you. Right now, in the early stages of the race, the greatest time. Oh!
That's Elijah Innes up into the inside wall. And that is going to hurt there for Innes. And he's got some pretty hefty damage on that number 68 now.
Yeah, he has walled that thing. It's got some big damage. No fast repair. He's got to bring it around to pit lane, get some kind of repair done to it. But remember, caution, he went to the inside, was not on the racing service. Caution did not come out. He's going to get overhauled by this pack pretty darn quick.
Yeah, he is. As I believe he's in pit road now, and yep, he is in pit road. So he's going to have to get that thing repaired. That's if he doesn't call it a night already, because that is a pretty hefty bit of damage on the front of that Chevrolet. As we're going back to the front of the pack, actually, we're going to take a look at Zach Bowman. He's actually in a battle with Cruz Hernandez Jr. Hernandez Jr. on the outside, just in front of Greg McConey, trying to work that side draft. And remember, Byron, that's another thing that came in the last build there. That side draft really coming into effect now.
Yeah, what it does, what we're talking about with the side draft is where you get right up next to a car and you start racing too wide, but you're just now pulling up on that car. You get your front fender right by his rear tire well. It starts packing his rear tire fender well full of air, slows him down like he's got a parachute, and gives you a pull, an aerodynamic pull, to get you to the front. But you got to get right on his door to do it for it to be effective, and you got to have a lot of faith in the guy that you're coming up next to, so he doesn't bump doors with you and cause a big mess.
Well, the side drive working to absolute perfection for Cruising Anders Jr. because he just sailed around the outside of Aaron Tribble. Now looking on the back of Marcus Adams. Cruising Anders Jr. using that side drive to absolute perfection and just absolutely just throwing his car forward right now.
Yep, and right now, the early stages of the race, these guys are now riding the high lane, they're riding the low lane, they're falling back into the pack, they're leading the pack, they're making their judgments on how their car is going to handle when it comes time to hit that scramble button for the end, to run to the checkers. Right now, there's a lot of education happening in those drivers' heads. They're seeing, how can I get around somebody? How many people can I get around? With help, without help? You got, say 65 more laps, or no, less than 60 laps to figure this thing out. This race is going by quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, we've got exactly 60 laps to go. We'll be 59 at the line. Yeah, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But anyway, we're going to continue this race anyway, as most people are single file. The only driver that's actually on the outside line in this lead pack right now is Greg McConey. And I fear that he might fall back a bit further, and he does. Brandon Wilson, his teammate, overtakes him, and there he goes to the back of the lead pad. The driver of Connor Trafari has fallen away from the lead pad. Joe Gauthier is back there, as well as now Elijah Innes finally making his way out of pit road after repairing that number 68 machine. Yeah,
and hats off to him. You know, he's going to be running slower. He's got damage. Aerodynamics are so important here at Superspeedways. The car's binned up. It's not going to cut through the air like it was meant to. He's going to be slow, might not even be able to hang on to a draft when he finally gets back to a pack. But, hats off to him. He's running for points. He's going to keep going, even if he's all the way back 3 laps down.
Yeah, and I do believe in the actual Cup Series, Talladega is coming up soon, so I'll be looking for that one on iRacing very soon. So, yeah, looking forward to that. But anyway, I do love me some super speedway racing. I've not tried out the iRacing Super Speedway yet. That just looking at people racing on the track, that track terrifies me. So.
Oh, let me tell you about the iRacing Super Speedway. If you don't have it, you need to get it, folks, because that is a pedal all the way down, super draft, no lifting through the corners. Cars hold the corners, massively long track, and massively fun to drive. Sam, you have to do it.
I've already got it. I just haven't tried it yet.
You have to.
But as far as I know, it's the only fictional track on iRacing, which is one they had on NASCAR 2K3, so or NASCAR 2003, and they thought they'd carry it over to iRacing, which is fair enough. It's the same people that made that game and are making this one as well, so you know it's always going to be the case.
Yep, everyone seemed to settle themselves down to mostly single-file racing. We got a little bit of double-wide trying to get an outside line formed up out towards the back of the lead pack. A couple of cars fell off of the lead draft. 12 seconds back, Connor Trafari, Joe Gauthier, they're out there running single now. They're going to get overhauled if they don't get together and start turning faster laps.
Yeah, John LeBombard, a driver that usually makes his way to the front at some point during the race, has fallen off as well. He's right behind Gauthier. And Adrian Moore, who we saw on the first lap, jumped to the inside line and off the lead, fall to the back. He's actually lost the pack and is actually the last driver on the lead lap now. So he's going to have to really... hope there's a caution at some point, but the way everybody's running so far, it's not looking likely at the moment, unless the guys who are double file at the back have a bit of an oops. But I'm not really seeing any tight racing going on so far. People just pacing themselves right now.
Yeah, they're settling down into this run because remember, it's 75% fuel load in these things. Normally you can carry out 35 laps on a full tank of fuel, so I'm looking for pit stops to be happening here in the next 8 to 10 laps for these guys, and that's really going to shuffle the field up if we stay green and we get some green flag pit cycles through here. I can't wait to see that happen and see how it all shakes loose.
out of turn 2 on lap 16 for these guys, and these guys just running all in single file now. So you got to be thinking maybe in the next 5 to 10 laps pit stops will be looming, as that's usually when they all go single file. Pit stops are not too far away, Byron.
No, and tires at a super speedway here aren't generally an issue. You can get away with a 2-tire stop here. So you got to be wondering, teammates, are they communicating with each other saying, hey, if we come in, instead of taking 4 and a tank of fuel, let's take, say, 2 left sides on this first stop and a tank of fuel and head back out and set ourselves up to 2 right sides on the last stop. Or we take all 4. If you take all 4, it's going to take extra time. You're going to lose track position. So a lot of strategy and a lot of talking probably going on right about this point.
Yeah, and also you got to take into account the weather as well. If it's a hot track, then it's going to create more tire wear. If it's a windy track, it's going to kind of unsettle the car a little bit and probably create a bit more tire wear as well, because you're trying to work the tires, trying to keep the car in a straight line. Let's actually take a look at the weather for tonight, and it is 65 degrees Fahrenheit. That's ambient air temperature, and we've got a track temperature of 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not that hot, but not exactly cool either.
No, I look for, these guys, I look for 2-tire stops on these track conditions, or you take 4 tires on that first stop and get a read on your tires to see, what tire wear did you have? Can you do a 2-tire stop? And there's always a possibility, especially at super speedways with these cars, you can do a gas only, take fuel and go.
Yeah. Looking at Jason Papp right now, just running behind Dan Brazens and taking a little look there, probably trying to get some air to that engine. They are running. They have been running single file for a good couple of laps now. You see McConey up there, and Marcus Adams has fallen to the back of this pack. Brandon Wilson has been back there for the longest time. He's probably just relaxing, just sitting back and waiting for the action to really kick off. And yeah, everybody's just relaxing right now, just running their lines, making sure they get to that first pit stop. That's when the strategy comes into play.
Yeah, and if you watch that line, that single file line driving around, a lot of people are thinking, well, these guys can't drive. You see them all wiggling all over the place. No, what they're doing is they're getting the front end of their car maybe halfway out of the car in front of them, car width-wise, to get some air on that engine. Riding single file right behind somebody, there's a lot of air not making it to the engine to cool it down. They will overheat. They will blow a motor. So you see these guys duck out of line just by half a car a little bit, and that little time out there, believe it or not, goes a long way at cooling these motors down.
Well, they talk about dirty air in Formula One, and they reckon it. You got to understand that it doesn't just apply to open wheel racing. It applies to stock car racing. It applies to touring car racing, GT racing, any form of racing. There is dirty air present, and especially running at this speeds and with the exhaust being coming out the back of the car. That's where all the hot air is coming out. That is getting sucked straight into the engine of the car behind them, and that's what creates that hot air that they need to kind of keep out of the engine. Otherwise they're going to be facing a blown engine situation, as we see Chris Warrior just getting the slightest bit impatient behind his teammate, probably getting a bit of air to that engine as well, as we're seeing prime examples of drivers just peeking the noses out ever so slightly just to get that little bit of air, just a nice big gulp of air, and just go back down again and race hard, race clean.
Yeah, and believe it or not, when we talk about the aerodynamics and dirty air and clean air, the car out in front is in what we call clean air. He has got maximum aerodynamics working for his car over the nose, over the spoiler on the rear, but the cars behind him don't, and it changes the handling characteristics of these things. So a guy, when he's, say, the third or fourth car back in that line, and he kicks his nose out there just a bit to get a gulp of air, notice he does it more on the straightaways than he does in the corners, because he's not looking for all of a sudden a completely different handling characteristic in the middle of a corner, especially when you're running this close together, nose to tail.
Now, for those of you that don't know what dirty air is, I did just mention it. It's the air coming out of the exhaust at the back of the car and going straight into the engine behind them. It's
also the turbulence from the car cutting the air in the front.
Oh god, yeah, that's they call that slipstream. And I'm wondering how this will affect the new cars that are coming out next year, because obviously the Gen 7 cars are coming out in 2022. As Zach Bowman, he jumps up for a gulp of air and comes back down again. they seem to be a lot more aerodynamically produced, obviously with the big splitter coming out the back of the car, and with how things are, it's a lot more aerodynamically curved, so to speak.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't they running to a diffuser under the back of that car?
There is, yeah, it's a big diffuser at the back of the car. It's like, so that it promotes more airflow underneath the car.
Which helps with the aerodynamic, which cuts it through the air, but it doesn't help the car right behind them because it takes all the air off the nose of the car that runs that close. Super speedway racing with those cars is going to be an interesting thing to watch.
That it is. And we'll find that out next January, or next February, I think, actually. No, I apologize.
Adrian Moore is finding himself in a position to get lapped here in the next half lap or so.
Probably sooner than that. He's got no help at all. You see, back in the distance right there, there is the lead pack. And they are bearing down on him very, very quickly. And Michael Anthony will have to either be in contact with with Adrian and trying to make sure he stays where he is or move out of the way, as we've got people coming down pit road here. Cruz Hernandez Jr., Jason Papp, Greg McConey, Ryan Worley and Brandon Wilson all into pit road. That's all of the Dudes Racing cars, apart from Cruz Hernandez Jr., who's independent, but the Dudes Racing cars playing the strategy game already.
Yep, first call has been made, lap 23, so it looks like about 23, 24 laps is about as many as you're going to get on Take a Go Fast here. As I'm watching, guys, did I see 2 tire stops on that?
I believe you did.
Yeah, left side tires went on Jason Papp's car as they go for the short. Okay, 2 tires, we're going to go back out and run. Look for them to take right sides the next time around as this group comes back out. Look for them to form up, get single file, and get back up to speed through the gearbox as quick as they can.
Disaster for Cruz Hernandez Jr. He has been given a penalty for speeding in pit road entry, and he will have to sit in that pit box for possibly another 40 seconds. And that is going to absolutely kill him. He's already been lapped here by the lead pack. We've got more drivers in pit road. Michael Anthony, Chris Worrell, Marcus Adams, and Mark McFadden in pit road. John LeBombard just came in as well. As more 2 tire stops going on here, Byron.
Yeah, 2 tires looks like it's going to be. If you take 4 right now, you're going to lose a lot of track position. As I got my eyes on Zach Borman, wondering when that group is going to come to pit lane, and here they come.
Yep, here we go. That's the last round of pit stops that are going to be happening. Bowman going to lead them down with Zishan Duera, Chris Walker, Dan Brazenton, and Aaron Tribble. Is that a problem here on the entrance to pit road? Big problems for the 22.
Oh, wow. Got to go back and take a look at that. What happened? Did he just get on the binders way too hard, bringing her down pit road?
Yeah, and it just went
around him. And that looks to be exactly the case.
Yeah, went round on him, and he went through he slid off into the grass, so might have a penalty here. We'll find out right now. And he's taking right sides at least. He might as well take 4 if he's going to get a penalty out of this one, Byron.
Yeah, pit entry penalty. You're going to have to sit in your pit for a while. As Connor Trafari.
Oh, no, he didn't get a penalty.
He didn't.
No.
He did get it woke down enough. I'll be darned.
Yeah, I think they've got rid of that penalty where if you slide off into the grass through pit road, then it won't give you a penalty anymore. So, but with all that being said, Zishan Duera is your leader coming out of pit road right ahead of Zach Bowman. That is your 1 and 2 right now. Chris Worrell in 3rd. Greg McConey is in 4th, just ahead of his teammate Jason Papp, and Ryan Worley right with him as well. Marcus Adams in P7. 8th is Dan Brazenton right ahead of his teammate Chris Walker, and Mark McFadden is the last driver in the top 10 with Brandon Wilson right behind him. Aaron Tribble, despite that spin, still in P12, but a long way back here, Byron. This field is very, very spread out again.
Yep, and now you're going to see guys all suck up to each other. You're going to see pairs of cars run together and run in a draft because 2 cars can go way faster around this track than 1 can by itself. 3 cars can go even faster. So you're going to see these guys start to line up. I got my eyes on Chris Walker right now and Dan Brazington as they come up onto the back of looks like Marcus Adams. As soon as they catch up to Marcus Adams, who's all by himself out there, you're going to see these 3 cars pick up and move faster in a pack if they stay in that single line.
Yeah, man, that is exactly the case right now. Here comes Brazenton, here comes Walker, right out to the back of Marcus Adams, and they're just probably going to link up together right here and probably create a bit more speed. No, they're going to go right around him. They don't want to play ball with that number 31 right now, but Marcus Adams actually just holding strong on that bottom line right now.
Well, as they came up to the back of Marcus Adams, now remember the way aerodynamics work, these are full-fendered cars. These things are pushing, breaking through a lot of air. It's like moving a brick through the air, and there's a huge air bubble on the front that you're pushing out in front of you, that Marcus Adams all of a sudden caught a big push off of that air bubble, and it sped him up. But if Bransington and Walker don't get together, as they start to do now you're going to see Adams will fall in behind them or in between them. As we get side by side, he's not giving it up easy.
Yeah, Brazenton came down a bit too early, I think, because he's probably going to lose touch with his teammate right now as they come down across the line. And Adams, like you said, still holding strong on that bottom line, and exactly that has happened. Brazenton came down the track a bit too early. He was hoping to bring Walker with him, but unfortunately Marcus Adams was having absolutely none of it, and splits the pair of them.
Yeah, and now you're going to see that trio go to track down the next cars in front of them if they stay single file, so they can get the fastest speed they can around this track.
Yeah, and the next car in front of them is the Dudes Racing trio of Greg McConey, Jason Papp, and Ryan Worley, and they are running lockstep right now, working together, so they're probably running a bit higher speed than Dan Brazenton is right now, because they're not exactly in proper line right now. Brazenton's struggling to keep a steady line in front of them, whilst the 3 Dudes Racing cars, they are just absolutely lined up, absolutely perfect at staying with each other.
Yep, and I'm taking a look back. Mark McFadden and Brandon Wilson working in tandem to try to catch that trio in front of them so they could link up and get even a faster line going. But we've got, cars spread out in pairs and trios all around this track. And Sam, working lap 30 of 70 right now, we haven't seen a caution yet. Came close to one, but I'm amazed at the skill of these guys. Haven't been a caution in a super speedway and pack racing yet.
So many times this season we have seen these guys go caution-free in races, and that's a testament to the way these drivers race. They are absolutely on it when it comes to these kind of races, and they kind of like it that way. Less cautions means less bad vibes, so to speak. So they just like to keep it that way.
Yep, you think we're all spread out now. Now, we pitted around, lap 23, lap 24? So look for them to come around 48 and 49 for your next set of pit stops. Maybe a lap or two sooner, because they're not running in that big pack anymore, which means these cars that are running in trios and pairs are burning a lot more fuel.
Looking at your top 3 right now, Zishan Duera still leading this thing with Zach Bowman in second. The points leader up there in the second spot, making that pit stop count and working in his favor. Chris Worrell is in third place right there as well. And you see right in the background there, Greg McConey, Jason Papp, and Ryan Worley. They're slowly but surely reeling that gap in, but not quite close enough, as we are very quickly heading towards halfway here, Byron.
Yeah, I can't believe how quick this has gone by. Normally, a race at a super speedway, we've got to find all sorts of things to talk about during the long caution laps, how long it takes to get around one caution lap here. I haven't seen a caution lap yet. I've seen nothing but action all over the track, and coming up on halfway already, that's amazing.
Yeah, we've been on the air less than an hour, and we're already coming up to halfway through the race, and that's pretty darn impressive, if you ask me, as we're going to go back to Brazenton, Adams, and Walker. And again, these guys not able to close that gap between themselves and the Dudes Racing cars. These guys just we got 3 by 3 by 3 right now, and they kind of missed. I think they must have missed the memo. Noah only said 2 by 2 by 2 in his arc, not 3 by 3 by 3.
Yeah. Well, they're going to move it along in trios. They're trying to hustle up to catch that lead trio. 3 seconds off, but they're running similar lap times, so they're not gaining any, they're not losing any. You got to go back another 6 seconds to find the next trio.
Yeah, 3 seconds out of place like this is a lifetime, let me tell you. On a road course, it's not so bad, but on an oval, it is quite a big margin, if you ask me.
Well, I'm taking a look from the camera angle from the blimp, and I'm looking at the first car of the second trio, or the third trio, Dan Brasington. Look how long 6 seconds is. But if you focus in on Greg Marconi, you can barely see in the camera shot the lead trio. That's how far 3 seconds is.
Now we'll look at the lead trio right now. That is them, and this is the other pack there. That's 3 seconds. This is 6 seconds between these two. They're only halfway down the super stretch, while McConey, Pap, and Worley are just coming through turn 4 now. They're literally they're on the exit of turn 4, just as the Brazenton, Adams, and Walker are just entering turn 4. Let me just re-say that again, because my brain's not working right. They're just exiting turn 4, just as Walker, Brazenton, and Adams are entering turn 3. There you go. I got it right the second time around.
And this is going to start getting interesting now, because our lead trio of Duera, Borman, and Worrell have caught up with Anthony, Hernandez, and LeBombard.
It is, as Hernandez recovering from that penalty, and they get around Elijah Innes as well, obviously, and unfortunately Innes has that damage on his car from that spin he had earlier, as these three dudes racing cars, they are still closing that gap, and with that lap traffic as well, probably didn't affect them too much, but they are coming up on them right now. Let's see if this does affect them, as they actually they latch onto the back of them, so they're not exactly going to go flying around them this time. This might give the top 3 a bit more speed now to try and get away from McConey, Pap, and Worley.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long our leaders stay on the tail of the tail 3 here.
Innes just blew his engine on the backstretch. That's very unfortunate for the 68. Oh.
Yeah, I seen in driver chat, Innes was saying that his engine was probably going to be losing the fight here pretty soon. As I see LeBombard moving up a lane, that's going to drop LeBombard off of the back draft of there. I wonder if he's having any kind of issue, or if he bumped someone and got a little bit of damage on the nose. He hasn't been able to hold that draft.
Or maybe he realized his engine was getting a bit hot and needed to jump out of the line to get some air to it. He's getting a nice push from Duera though. So not going to be behind too far. And actually, he's going to be right on the back of Hernandez Jr. again. So,
now, if I'm Duera, I am happy as all get out to just stay and right where I'm at, because now I can get around this track. I don't have to flat throttle this thing as the leader. I can save fuel. And that lead trio, riding on the back of this trio, they're getting lap times as a 6-car train, and they're able to save a little bit of fuel, as just as I'm saying that, they go to make the move, go around LeBombard.
Yeah, they're sick of waiting. They want to get away. They've noticed that gap is coming down between them and McConey. So they need to get a shift on, and they're actually trying to do that now. They get around LeBombard. Well, 2 of the 3 do anyway. Worrell not able to get around as they're coming up to get around Hernandez Jr. and Michael Anthony. And very shocked.
This is going to be a good. This could be a good learning experience to see what lane do I need to be in at the end of the race. Is the high line going to get across to that start-finish line first, or is the low lane?
Very clever by Zach Bowman. Realised that Duera was going to try and go high, and absolutely worked that to perfection. Sold him a dummy, went down low, and used Hernandez as a prick. Used Hernandez as a pick. We'll just ignore that. Use Hernandez as a pick to get his way to the front. Anyway, I swear we're not on the portal.
Yeah, but Duera is thinking that previous word of the other driver right now, but that left him out to dry.
We're not on the portal, so it's okay. We can keep it PG-13, and Cruz, we don't think that of you at all. We think you're a wonderful guy, but it's just a slip of the tongue. Anyway, it's been a long day. But yeah, Bowman using that to his advantage there. That the fact that Duera went high and thought they were going to go with him, but Bowman just sticking to that bottom line, using the draft from Hernandez Jr. and just bulleting his way forward and just getting underneath Duera there. Just pretty much sold him a dummy.
Yeah, as Duera drops to the back of that whole long pack, as we're coming up on green flag stops a second time. I'm thinking in the next 4 to 5 laps. So these guys might be jockeying for position, communicating with each other, figuring out, okay, when am I going to come in? I took left sides last time. Let's take right sides this time.
Absolutely, and they will be able to make it from here if we stay green to the end of the race now. And Bowman and Worrell not exactly trying to get their way around Cruz Hernandez Jr. and Michael Anthony right now. They're just happy to stay where they are. Probably with those pit stops in mind, they're probably just happy to just stay there right now.
Well, they're happy to stay here because as a trio, our lead trio has extended their lead over Marconi, Papp, and Worley to 5 seconds. So they've increased their gap. They may as well just fall in behind another car, save fuel, go as far as they can before they decide to make that call to come to pit lane.
Yeah, as we're looking at Marconi, Papp, and Worley. And they're still racing in line right there, just trying to do the best they can with what they have. And they probably do want a caution. They're, you are right, Byron. They did lose that time with them running with the back markers right there, the top 3. They are catching Aaron Tribble, though, so maybe Tribble can join them and give him a bit of a extra boost in speed, but probably not going to work out as we're going to go back to Brazenton, Adams, and Walker, and they're still exactly the same as they were before.
Yeah, they just don't have the comfort of numbers in the draft to run those top speeds, because I'm looking at Zach Borman. His last lap was a 48.394. I go back to Dan Brazington. Their last lap was a 49.393. So they are running slower with less cars in the draft.
That they are. So Bowman, still your leader. Green flag stops are looming. The 9, the 6, and the 10. All in that top 3. Then you've got the 12, the 1, and the 00 in 4th, 5th, and the 6th back there. They actually didn't opt to use Tribble for a bit of help there. They just went sailing on round him and carried on their merry way. And then you've got the 43, the 31, and the 36 there of Brazenton, Marcus Adams, and Chris Walker. They're running in lockstep as well, just enjoying themselves. Not really much going on right now. Everybody's just happy to be where they are and just run it out to the pit stops. As I've already said, after that last pit stop, that's when the gloves start to come off there.
Now, depending on the tire wear that you saw on your first stop, when these guys made their first stop, they already knew, hey, we're going to take left side tires and go. Now, when they get out, they've got a reading on all of their tires, so they know if they can go without having to take tires at all in this next stop. If I am Marconi, Papp, and Worley, I'm going fuel only, no tires, and getting out while the other guys are probably going to take tires. And a fuel only stop with 2 tires, you might, versus a 2-tire stop, you might get a little bit of advantage and shave some of that 6-second lead that they've got down.
Yeah, they're coming up on more lap traffic as well. I believe that is Trafari and Gauthier they are coming up on, and that is absolutely right, they are. So even more traffic they've got to deal with now as we start lap 45 of 17. We have 26 laps to go here, Byron. It's getting closer and closer to the end now.
Yep, there's going to be a scramble with this lead pack, and I'm going to be interesting to see if Trafari and Gauthier, knowing that there's no cautions been happening, are they going to yield to this lead pack that's coming around them, because they're on the lead lap. But think Michael Anthony and Carl Hernandez are even further behind, a lap behind them. So they're in no obligation to get out of the way of the leader. They're going to do their best to stay on that lead lap and hopefully catch a caution.
Oh no, this fight between Michael Anthony and Hernandez Jr. there for position on Trafari and Gauthier. And Gauthier going high, Trafari going high. So they're probably going to give the position now to Anthony and Hernandez, and they do exactly that. They go ahead But look at the leaders are boxed in now with lap traffic. This is going to probably affect them here.
Well, the leaders are going to stay in that bottom line as the two cars moved up and fell to the back of that pack. So, yeah, they yielded the positions. They've gone to a lap down now as Zach Borman's still pointing that thing at the front, still happy to ride behind the cars in front of him to save as much fuel as he can. I'm looking at pretty much, Warrell, Duera, and Borman have got their strategy down on lock.
Yeah, as they put another lap on Adrian Moore, he will go a second lap down here in this race, and 24 laps to go. Pit stops are still looming. They've still got to get that, and you've got to expect the three dudes racing cars will be the first ones down because they came down first last time as well. But Worley getting a bit out of shape there going through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and gathers it back in. Like we said, how many times have we seen guys in this league get completely bent, completely way out of shape, and be able to bring it back? As don't look now, but isn't that Trafari? Looks like he's trying to mount back up around and maybe get back on that lead lap the hard way.
As we go back to Trafari, wow, he's a bit far back off the back of Bowman. He's actually running almost alongside Le Bombard. So,
it looked like Edgar Gauthier were going to make a move to go around to try to get their lap back. They just don't have enough momentum to do it right now.
No, they don't, as they're all in one big line right now. McConey, Pap, Worley, and then now Aaron Tribble has joined this little trio. So they didn't just they went around him, but they didn't ditch him. The 22 still staying with him. And you're talking about drivers making big saves in this league. No driver has made more big saves than this young man right here. Aaron Tribble has made amazing saves this season. As here come the dudes cars, they are all coming into pit road right now for the final stop of the night here, Byron.
Yeah, Marconi, Pap. Oh man, Marconi gets on the binders real hard, locks them up. Hope he didn't get a speeding on pit entry, and that, like we saw earlier, is a death sentence. You will go a lap down as these guys come in. So I probably look for our lead pack of Borman, Worrell, and Duera to come in on the next lap.
Yeah, as I believe Brandon Wilson and Mark McFadden have been down pit road already. Yes, they have. They've just come out right now as McConey, cruising down as Junior went straight in and came back out again. McConey comes out ahead of, I believe that is Aaron Tribble, and Worley gets the jump on Pap as the lead pack coming around.
Lead pack stays out there, puts a lap on them. Lead pack is going to ride that pack because they know they've got the speed. They were gaining even more and more time on those guys. They had an 8-second advantage when they, when Pap and his group came into pit. They had an 8-second deficit to the leaders, and the leaders knew that by running in that big, long single file draft, they were getting faster times. They're content to stay in that long single file draft up until, I guarantee you, they're going to drive until they find the bottom of the fuel tank, which they have right now. Guys, get on the binders real hard as everyone fans out, not to get into each other. Tiny bit of contact on pit entry.
Well done to get them all into pit road like that. That was almost pinpoint. Saw Zishan Duera just getting it woed down there. We saw Worrell getting woed down too. There is Bowman getting into his pit box. There's Worrell, Duera, Brazington and Walker are in as well. So all the pit stops happening. Now we're going to focus on this lead pack right now. There is McConey. There is Tribble. There is Worley. Pap has fallen back off of these guys. I'm not sure what happened to the one, but it's lost a lot of pace there as Worrell already out of pit road right now, as this lead pack probably going to stay in the lead right now as they come through turns 1 and 2. That is actually Michael Anthony in front of them, and they're probably going to get a nice tow off him as well.
Yeah, well, it's a 70-lap race. We've seen him go 23, 24 laps on a tank of Go Fast. So we're good to go. These guys can make it to the end. Whether they come in on a caution or whether they stay out, if there's no caution, doesn't matter. They got enough gas to make it all the way through. Strategies have played out. Now it's going to boil down to, hey, did that work? But we saw that whole big group come into pit lane, Sam. You will never see that many cars on a super speedway in an iRacing official race enter pit lane all that close together and not have chaos. That was amazing driving by these guys to get into the pits, and not one of them caught a penalty.
You talk of amazing, and we're seeing amazing things happening right now for Chris Warrior and Zishan Duera. They have both absolutely walked away from Zach Bowman, and it's pretty much between the 6 and the 10 right now. 4 race honors as they come down the super stretch now, right behind Michael Anthony, and it's between those 2 drivers now. I don't think Zach Bowman is going to catch up to these guys because he's stuck behind Connor Trafari and not making any gains whatsoever. So Warrell and Duera have found themselves well and truly in the catbird seat.
Yep, and we're talking about it, and we talk about the broadcaster's curse. Yep, they're in the catbird seat. That's if this thing stays green the rest of the way. The great equalizer, as we all know, is the caution flag. That comes out, and we're just going to re-rack them, stack them, pack them, and take another shot at it.
And if it's within 5 laps to go?
Well, you want a checker?
There you go. It's been a while.
It has been.
Yeah.
Haven't had to say that in a long time. Haven't talked about green, white, checker in a long time. I don't know how many attempts we have at a green, white, checker in this league. I can't remember. It's been so long since I raced in it. But you know what? Green, white, checker is probably in the offing, because you think that these 2 guys, Chris Warrell and Zishan Duera, are going to not throw haymakers at the end of this thing. Guess again.
Yeah, these guys like to really mix it up. When it comes to less than 5 laps to go, we have still got 17 laps to go, so plenty of racing left to do. And like Byron said, still a caution left to go. Still the chances of a caution to come. But with how they're spread out right now, I honestly cannot see a caution happening at the moment.
Well, go back to 3rd place, Zach Bowman. He's in a pack running, in a draft of 3, just like our leaders are, but he's at a 3-second deficit. And we saw earlier in this last stint before these pit stops, it's almost impossible to make up 3 seconds. If you're in a 3-car draft versus another 3-car draft, you're going to run similar pace. So Zach Borman's got to find a way to pick him up, put him down with these 2 lap cars that he's in the middle of, if he has any chance of catching the leaders and making an issue of it.
That he does. As we go back to Greg McConey, he's currently sitting in P4 right now, just ahead of Ryan Worley. Jason Papp is all by himself now. He is running in P6 right now, and it's the twosome of Dan Brazington and Marcus Adams that are very quickly closing in on Papp. And Chris Walker is another one that's fallen off the back of a pack here. He's running by himself, running in that 9th place, and pretty nicely ahead of Brandon Wilson, who is got Mark McFadden with him, but also look who's right behind them. The leaders are right there too.
Yep, and you know what? The speed difference with a 2-car draft versus a 1-car draft, you see Jason Papp getting overhauled by Dan Brosington and Mark Adams. If you take an in-car view of Jason Papp and see how fast he's driving, I'll bet you he's running a good 10 to 15 miles an hour slower than Dan Brosington and Marcus Adams are right now.
Yeah, as we see Chris Worrell and Zishan Duera put a lap on Brandon Wilson and Mark McFadden as they fly off in towards turn 3, and that has moved Michael Anthony, who's still on the lead lap, mind you. He's in front of the leaders, which means he is still on the lead lap. So if a caution should come out now, he will be scored on the lead lap, and all he has to do is rejoin the back of the pack, and he still has a chance of winning this thing.
And Connor Trafari would pick up, or Mark McFadden would pick up the lucky dog, and he'd get to the back of the lead pack and still have a shot at it. Like we said, you got 2 laps to go, and you're riding in 8th place or 10th place on this track. You have a shot at it.
Absolutely, as we've had a problem for Adrian Moore.
He's put it on the hauler and called it a night.
Yeah, he's 2 laps down. Not sure what was going on with that Michael Waltrip 09. He's taking inspiration from the Michael Waltrip Racing team that is obviously not around anymore.
Well, you know why they're not around anymore.
Because Michael Waltrip didn't want anything to do with owning a team anymore.
Well, NASCAR told him, well, he lost his sponsors, we'll put it that way, for something that another name that's in a Fox broadcasting booth, Clint Warrior, was in the middle of.
Well, that's understandable. Clint Bowie seems to be in the middle of a lot of controversy throughout his career, so...
That was where the team owner told Clint, go ahead and spin the car on purpose so his team could make it into the playoffs and bump Jeff Gordon out. That was the year that NASCAR added 1 car to the playoffs because it was an intentional spin to bring out a caution to change the outcome of a race. You remember that one?
Yeah, isn't it funny how the 2 people that had probably one of the most infamous fights in NASCAR are now sharing the same broadcast booth, right?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Another thing that's interesting is I'm taking a look at Chris Warrior and Zishan Duera. They are content and happy to let Michael Anthony lead the way, and I'm wondering, any communication going on there, or when are they going to try to maybe start setting up their moves? As we're coming up to 10 to go, you got to think these guys have got to be deciding, okay, how am I going to get around this guy? They're leaving him out in front so they can get a run on him to slingshot around with the side draft and the slingshot. But yeah, we're running out of time here. 10 laps to go.
Absolutely. As Anthony and Worrell are actually teammates, so that's probably working out more for Worrell than it is for Duera as they come down to complete another lap. We're 11 laps to go here at Talladega. Not a single caution so far tonight. It's been very clean and green all night long, but like Byron has already alluded to, anything can happen, and even if it's with 2 laps to go, we can still have playoffs, have overtime here tonight. But as I've already alluded to, anything can happen. Well, actually, I was going to say they're so spread out, there might not be a caution, but look at this second pack right now. They're all pretty bunched together right now.
Yeah, and they need to be bunched together if they're going to have any hope of catching up. And that second pack we're talking about includes your 3rd place machine of Zach Borman, your 4th place machine of Greg Marconi, and Ryan Worley. Those guys, they need to catch up to the leaders. If that pack catches that lead pack in the next, say, 5 laps, ooh, we're going to have us a show for the end.
They might have the speed now. If they can actually get it together, they might actually have enough to try and close that gap to the 5 cars that are ahead of them. But look at the gap between them. You can't even see them in the distance. That's how far they are back off the lead lap. They're actually on 2 separate ends of the super stretch here at Talladega. And then you've got to go back another quite a few seconds to find Jason Papp, who now has Dan Brazenton and Marcus Adams right behind him.
Yeah, so he'll pick up some speed. But will he have enough speed to catch up with this group? Caution just throws everything out. I'm waiting for them to all cross the line here. Okay, last lap for our leader, Chris Worrell. It was a 48.584. Now, if I go back to Worley, who's in that second pack, 48.2, 0.3 of a second faster. 0.3 of a second when you're 7 seconds behind. No, we don't have enough time for that group to catch them.
Nah, definitely not enough time. They're going to need a caution if they want to make things a bit more interesting here tonight. But Trafari happy to stay in front of Bowman. Bowman probably not very pleased to have Trafari there, but also happy to receive the draft off the 48, but would like to be a bit closer to the back of Duera. But yeah, like you said, only taking 0.3 out of the person ahead of you, it's not enough, especially with only 8 laps to go now.
No, 0.3, 8 laps, that, 3 times 8, that's, no, not enough, man. You're going to make up 2 seconds. You need to make up 7. And the only thing that's going to be able to get this group to catch them would be a caution. But we just might see it, because if you think about it, Michael Anthony is leading this pack. His teammate is who? Zach Bowman?
Chris Worrell.
Chris Worrell. Chris Warrior is his teammate. Zayshawn Duera is in between them. So what, Zayshawn's got to be saying, I need to keep in between these guys and not let them run off and run away. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of moves are going to be made here in the next 3 or 4 laps.
Duera's the third car in line, so he's not between them. He's actually behind both of them. So that's not making him very happy. They are coming up to the back of Chris Walker, though, so this might add a bit more incentive for the leaders, as that is actually a position in front of Michael Anthony as well there. So, yeah.
It's getting confusing the way this is all starting to play out with no caution, and the way they got stretched around as that lead pack decides to go ahead and get around Chris Walker. Chris Walker not yielding the bottom of the track as everyone goes high to get around him. He's going to fall in right behind them.
Yeah, he's even going to lose the lucky dog spot as Mark McFadden goes around him. Brandon Wilson trying to go around him, but not exactly making it work, and Wilson going to fall in behind Walker. As we are 6 laps to go here now at Talladega, and it's still between Chris Worrell and Zayshawn Duera. And I wonder, when is Duera going to pull the trigger here?
You got to be wondering, like I said, 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go. That's a long time on this super speedway. Me personally, I'd be happy to stay right where I'm at till 2 laps to go, and then I'm going to make my test run until I got 1 lap to go, and then I'll know what I'm going to do. And I'm going to gamble it all on that one move. It's either going to be right or it's going to be wrong. Come home with a steering wheel or come home with a trophy.
Well, if I was Michael Anthony, I would be the gentleman. I would do the gentleman, and it was 1 lap to go, or maybe 2 laps to go if you're feeling extra generous. Just do the gentlemanly thing. Just pull to the right-hand side, go high, let the leaders go by, and just let them have at it.
Yeah, but I'd have to wait until the leaders took the white flag, because the next flag would end the race. That would take the possibility of a green wall record right out of it.
Absolutely. But here we go. We're coming up to 4 laps to go now here at Talladega, and it's all really settled down at the moment, but we're going to see the fireworks really kick off very soon, I'm sure. Duera going to be likely to pull the trigger very soon, whereas behind them, Bowman getting a little bit antsy behind Trafari now, and you see McConey getting a bit antsy behind his own teammate Worley. And those guys are pretty much safe in the positions they are, so probably going to be happy where they are.
Yeah, but they're running in the middle of a group. They're feeling antsy. You got to be wondering: is the brain thinking, "Am I in position, or can I pick up another position?" Because remember, positions are points, and we are racing for a championship.
Yeah, and Zach Bowman is the points leader right now. As they're getting a bit out of shape, going through 3 and 4. Oh, that could have ended all kinds of poorly, but it didn't. As we're coming to 3 laps to go now, the leaders just crossed the line right there. So, when is it going to happen? We've got only 3 laps left. Duera needs to do something if he wants to get that first race win of the season.
Yeah, Duera, like I said, if I was Duera, I'm sitting there. I'm happy to be here until 2 to go. When I get to 2 to go, I will take a test of the waters to see what kind of run I could make. And if any, and here's the thing, Duera can make that move around Michael Anthony, but is anyone going to go with him, or is he going to get freight trained if he goes to make that move? Duera is probably hoping that Michael Anthony would move up out of the way. That's the only chance I think he would have to stay there. He goes to make a move around. He might get freight trained. It's going to be interesting as we are coming. We are 2 to go.
Popsicle sticks in the air, and it's between Worrell and Duera. Who is going to get the win here tonight here at Talladega? It's all going to start kicking off right now as Duera finally pulls the trigger. He's going to go to the outside of Chris Worrell.
And he has help.
He does, but he doesn't get enough of the help as McFadden kind of gives him a bit of a wrong push there, and Dwyer has to pull back down to the inside line. They're coming through 3 and 4 now. The white flag will come out this time by. Dwyer needs to get that run, but McFadden is going to prevent him from doing that. He's going to go forward. This is not going to help out Dwyer at all, as McFadden tries to make a name for himself, trying to get back on the lead lap now. That is probably going to be heartbreak for Dwyer there, because he's got no room to move up or no room to move forward.
Nope, Chris Warrell looking in the rearview mirror, seeing that 2 wide behind him with McFadden. He's the happiest person on the track. All he's got to do is stay in the tire tracks of Michael Anthony, and he's going to pick up a victory.
Absolutely, and Dwyer not going to be close enough, coming through 3 and 4, and it's going to fall to Warrell, but Dwyer going to close the gap a bit more. He might have left it a little bit too late now as they come through 3 and 4 for the final time down towards the line. Can Dwyer do anything about it? Not going to be quite close enough, as McFadden trying to make his way around him again. Not really sure what's going on here, but Warrell nevertheless is going to come across the line and collect the win. Dwyer going to come home in 2nd place. And it's going to be 3rd place for Ryan Worley, who's actually made a late move on Zach Bowman, and he will get 3rd place. 4th place going to McConey. Bowman falling back to P5, so not really sure what happened to him there. Jason Papa has been paying tribute to his father all night long. He's going to get credited with a fantastic 6th place here. He's going to be very happy that he's been able to keep it clean and keep it on the lead lap as he crosses the line for P6. Dan Brazelton in P7. Marcus Adams in P8. P9 going to go to Michael Anthony, and Mark McFadden going to get that last spot in the top 10. But McFadden not making any friends right there.
No, I'm sorry, but Dwyer cannot be happy with McFadden whatsoever at this moment in time.
Yeah, McFadden was a lap down, and he probably took away a race win there from Zishan Dwyer, and not going to be happy in the slightest. So we are going to go down to the... we got a fantastic shot of Worrell doing his burnouts there. That is brilliant. I love that. As we're going to go to the interviews right now, and I am going to interview the race winner, and then you can do 2nd place, I think. So I'm looking for Worrell, and I can't find. Where is he? There he is. I'm going to bring him down to the booth right there, and we've got our race winner with us right now as Chris Warrell doing burnouts on the track right now. Race winner here at Talladega. Got to be happy with that one. Is between you and Zishan Dwyer, but Dwyer getting hampered there by a lap car. You've got to be happy to see that in the rearview mirror.
I'm happy to see that, but I know he's got to be pretty ticked off about it, as I would be too. It was a pretty straightforward, semi-boring race for the most part with this package. And, man, I as much as it was good to see from me, I feel bad for him, to have a chance at least trying to make the race somewhat exciting, and then for him to just get ruined by a lap car. It's kind of BS, but what can I say? It got me the win.
Absolutely, and it's very well deserved when you kept it up there and made the pit stops work for yourself as well. It looked the car was a bit squirrely in the traffic there. How were you able to keep the car underneath you? Obviously, this new package, very different dynamic for these cars.
Yeah, it's when you got somebody right in front of you and somebody's right on your bumper, especially if you're taking like 2 tires on your stops, it can get a little hairy there, and the car can get out from under you a little bit. But for the most part, just the fact that it was so broken up after that first pit stop, it was just easy to maintain. So honestly, it just felt like a Sunday drive today, which is usually not the case on Friday nights. But I feel like if we had more people racing beside us, we would have it'd been a lot squirrelier, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and this one locks you into the playoffs for the end of the season, I believe, because I believe you've run enough races to be qualified for the playoffs. Got to be happy, got to give you a lot more confidence with the playoffs looming in a couple of rounds' time?
Oh, absolutely. Just to know that we're in now makes it a lot easier. I knew I was coming in, I was going to have to win a race to have a shot. Yeah, I've been having pretty bad luck the last 5 or 6 races, being almost wrecked out of every single one of them. So tonight really helped me out a lot, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, we are off next week, and then the week after we have the penultimate race of the season as we head to Daytona in the trucks. What are your thoughts heading into that one? It's going to be a very another hairy situation there in those things.
Oh, absolutely. The trucks are the most fun to race when it comes to this league. They're a little bit slower, which helps keep everybody together and racing hard, which is what we're all here for and what we want to do. Try to put on a good show for you guys every Friday. And hopefully we'll be able to do that next week. Definitely enjoy racing the trucks, and I can't wait to do it.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, congratulations on getting that race win. Definitely getting the monkey off your back. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thanks to before I let you go and celebrate?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to shout out my teammate, Mike. He really helped me there in the 8 car. Riding with him throughout the race helped me out. I knew I'd have a good shot at the end if I just stayed behind him and pushed him. Sadly, he was a lap car, but he helped me get to the end. But other than that, I'd like to thank the Rowdy Energy Series, IES the league, Jason. We're remembering his father tonight. Rest in peace, Mr. Pat. We'll be thinking about you. We'll be thinking about Jason and his family. Midwest Motor Customs. Sorry if I'm forgetting anything. The Esports Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys so much. Y'all put on an awesome broadcast. We love watching the broadcast after every race. Thank you, Sam. Byron. Thank you guys for what y'all do. And that's about it.
All right. Well, Chris Worrell in the 6 Balls Guarana machine coming home with the victory here tonight. Congratulations. Have a good rest, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time for Daytona in the trucks.
Thank you, Sam. You have a good night.
You too. So that was Chris Worrell joining us in the booth there, and a bit of confusion, but he is going to be officially classified in 2nd place. And Byron, I believe you have Mr. Zishan Duera with you right now.
Yeah, Zishan Duera, man, watched you run that race. We were talking about it when it got 10 to go. Sam was asking, when's he going to make his move? I said, if I was Zayshawn, I'd wait till 2 laps to go, make my test run, and then see what I could do on the last lap. And I know for a fact that's, we watched it unfold. It happened. You made your move, 2 to go. And then all of a sudden I'm not going to mention any names, but I know you've got to be unhappy with a lap down car right now.
Oh, yeah. I did make a move on Chris with 2 to go. Originally, before we lapped those other 2 cars, when it was just Chris, Mike, and I was in a bad way because Chris and Mike are teammates. And with this awful package, it's just hard to have 3 cars even run together. So I'm lucky they were nice to me and didn't just drive away. But, yeah, I did ride behind them till 2 to go. And yeah, we saw what happened.
Yeah, we seen it going on, and I was like, oh my God. Well, Chris is looking in his rearview mirror, seeing 2 wide, no help with the lap down car. It just, I'm like, oh, my heart's breaking for Zayshawn, because man, you were set. You were in the catbird seat with 2 to go. From my racing experience that I've raced with you guys in this league, and I've raced at Talladega Superspeedway, even with the bad package, you were in the catbird seat, and it just didn't play out for you, man. My heart goes out to you on that. But it was a hell of a great run. 2nd place, it's nothing to laugh about. It's going to bump you in the points a bit. Anyone you want to shout out to, man, let us know how you feel.
Jason Papp, of course, for running this league, and I want to mention William Robert Papp Sr., who passed away last week on our off week. That's Jason's dad. So my condolences to Jason. I also like to thank Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, Midwest Motor Customs, Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, and all my guys. And I would also like to say I really don't appreciate being hung out by a lap car and raced like absolutely awfully. I mean, if he just went with me, we could have done something. He would have gotten the position if he just worked with me. I don't understand why he has to even go below the yellow on me like he's racing for the win.
Yeah, we were a little confused by that ourselves, but it made for an interesting finish. It's I got to tell you, and it was a heartbreaker for you, but I'm glad to see you come home, podium finish, second place. Your thoughts moving on to the trucks at Daytona week after next?
Yeah, so the trucks are actually the best plate package now. They're more similar to what the Cup used to be. We did the Superspeedway showdown last week, about 14 or 15 of us from this league, and Jason won. It was 3 and 4 wide the entire time, so hopefully we can have something similar to that, and it was just awesome. So it's definitely not going to be the air bubble, which we saw today, which is why I couldn't get within, half a car of Chris. So I really hope that we can put on a good show.
Well, I'm looking forward to it myself. I can't wait to see you there, man. Congratulations on second place. And I kind of want to be a fly on the wall in the admin chat after this race, but then again, I kind of don't. So I'm going to run and hide.
Yeah. We are working on taking the Cup off the schedule or doing something to fix this because we can't do this.
Well, it still was a great show to watch, man. Enjoy it watching it back. You can see exactly what I was talking about, man. I knew you were going to make your move with two to go to see what you could do, and then just roll the dice on the last one. But that last move on the last lap didn't pay off. Sorry about that, but hey, congrats on second place. It ain't nothing to sneeze at.
I appreciate it, and thank you guys for the broadcast. You always do a great job.
Well, we're honored to do it.
That was Zishan Dwyer, and understandably rather ticked off there about the situation at the end of the race. Now, we are going to reach out to third place finisher of the night, and that's going to be Ryan Worley. And Ryan, a bit of a big battle for yourself at the end there, but quite a ways back from the top two there. Pit stop's not really working in your favor tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's just rough. If you couldn't stay with the group, you were kind of screwed. There was no drafting to be done.
But nevertheless, you managed to steal away third place from Zach Bowman at the death there. Got to be happy with those moves you made at the end there?
Yeah, I mean, me and Greg, we've had some beef with him for a few years. So it's just it's one of those I'm not going to wreck you kind of situations, but I'm definitely not going to help you kind of situations. And it's like, let's see if I can get a spot by doing this. I didn't know if it would work or not, but eventually it did. I got to give him credit, though. He has quite the car control because I was giving him some pretty nasty shots.
Yeah, he was. Probably getting a bit frustrated being stuck behind the 48 for so long. I'd be frustrated as well if that were me, but definitely able to capitalize on that and work your way forward. And this one is definitely going to help you with regards to the point situation. Got to be feeling more confident with the playoffs ever closer.
It's definitely helping. I wish I could get a win. That'd help me feel a lot better, especially going in with those bonus points that the winners get. But we still got a good run going. I've gotten top threes, or at least been in the top three running last lap for the last couple of races. So it's definitely where we want to be. Just got to get to that final position. That's what we're struggling to get to.
Yeah, and talk about these cup cars around here. Obviously, Deshaun mentioned just a minute ago that bubble is just absolutely awful in the cup cars. Is that the same opinion you have on these cars? Is that how bad they really are around here?
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. I don't know if you saw whenever it was me, Jason, and Greg there. We're just three cars by ourselves. I couldn't stay within a car length of Jason. And, I mean, that's just ridiculous. That does happen in real life. That wouldn't happen anywhere. So, I don't know what they've done to create that, but they just need to scrap it. I mean, it's horrific. And in the side drafts, I don't know how accurate this is, but it basically yanks your car whenever someone goes up to your quarter panel. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's a little too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, something definitely needs to be fixed with these cars, and hopefully they fix it soon. Obviously, there's a hot fix coming in soon, so maybe they're going to make some kind of changes to it soon, but hopefully they do it sooner rather than later. But going on to the next round there, Ryan, we are off to familiar machinery in 2 weeks' time as we head to Daytona in the trucks. Feeling confident in those ones? Going to try and see if you can get yourself a win in those?
Yeah, hopefully we don't run out of fuel at the line this time. Yeah, they're pretty good. we've been doing that thing where we run very little fuel. I don't know what the fuel load is for this upcoming week, but whenever you run low fuel in those things, it becomes a strategy race the whole time. A little less of the can I get up front, more of the can I get 2 tires? Can I get away from 0 tires here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be absolutely awesome to watch, and we're definitely looking forward to it. Well, before we let you go and celebrate your 3rd place here tonight, Ryan, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I just got to thank our great sponsors here in the league. Circle B Diecast sponsoring us here in the Super Speedway series. Rowdy Energy, that was on the card there tonight, sponsors our Monday night series. We have iRacing, iFlag, and Butt Kicker, and then Midwest Motor Customs, which I was going to run that car, but Greg said I had to run this one, so I ran this one tonight. I also want to give a shout out to Jason. He's been doing a great job running this league, but also just to his family. I understand how hard that can be to lose someone so close to you, and I know it's difficult, but God always helps us get through stuff like that. So I just want to pray for his family and everybody here who is listening, just to have them pray for his family as well.
All right. Well, Ryan, congratulations one more time on the podium finish here tonight at Talladega. Go and get yourself a rest and enjoy your week off, and we'll see you in 2 weeks when we head to Daytona in the trucks.
All right. See you in 2 weeks.
That was Ryan Worley there from 3rd place, and Byron. A lot of controversy at the end of that one there, but one very happy Chris Warrell at the end, one picking up his first race win of the season.
Yeah, you always got to be happy when you catch that first race win, man. Heartbreak for for Zayshawn Dewera. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not going to, because like I said, I kind of want to be a fly on the wall for that discussion, but then again, I want to run away and hide. But think about it, Sam. When's the last time you saw 1920 cars pack racing at Daytona make pit stops under green flag conditions and everything and run 70 laps caution free? How many times do you see that? Not very many.
Not at all. And we did go caution free, so very big testament to the drivers. Obviously, we saw a couple of incidents on track. Unfortunately, Elijah Innes was involved in both of them. Obviously, having that spin that damaged his car, and then the second incident was his engine blowing midway down the super stretch, which ended his night. So a bad night overall for Elijah Innes, and it kind of makes you feel bad being the only one involved in incidents, but it is what it is, and it's all part of Superspeedway racing. But anyway, let's go to the results before we go anywhere here tonight. So coming home with the race victory was Chris Worrell, finishing second was actually Zayshawn Dewera. For some reason, it gave him a penalty. 3rd place going to Ryan Worley. 4th place going to Greg McConey. 5th place going to Zach Berman. 6th going to Jason Papp. 7th going to Dan Bradenton. 8th going to Marcus Adams. 9th to Michael Anthony in the end. And rounding out your top 10, the man of that caused a bit of controversy tonight, Mr. Mark McFadden, rounding out that top 10, Byron.
Yeah, Brandon Wilson bringing it home in the 11th position. Chris Walker 1 lap down, bringing it home in 12th. Connor Trafari, man, I was looking for big things out of him after seeing his practice and qualifying times. Not getting on the showing that he was looking for. Coming home in the 13th spot. Joe Gauthier in 14th. Aaron Tribble coming home in the 15th position. John LeBombard in 16th. Cruz Hernandez Jr. 2 laps down, bringing it home 17th. Adrian Moore, an early retirement, 17 laps down in the next position. And rounding out the field in the 19th spot would be Elijah Innes. As we saw, he had 1 spin, heavy damage, and then a retirement due to a blown motor.
Absolutely, and that was your results for tonight's race. And obviously, it would be remiss if we didn't mention it would be remiss of us if we didn't mention the reason why we are all here tonight. We are all here in memory of Jason Papp's father, William Robert Papp Sr., who unfortunately passed away a week ago. Very much from everybody here at ESPN, we send out our massive condolences to Jason Papp and his family and the friends of William for the loss of William. Obviously, he'll be in the memory of everybody that knew him and everybody that holds him dear in their hearts. And with that, we are going to end things right there. And we're not going to play any music. We're just going to end this one on a bit of silence there for the memory of the man one of the greatest league owners I've known in quite a long time, Mr. Jason Papp. So from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, from my broadcast partner Byron Rodney, all that's left for me to say is keep it green, keep it clean, keep William Robert Papps in your thoughts, and we'll bid you a good night.